Whams.
So this week
That's Shade. I'm Bird.
That's Shade. This is Bird.
And this is Whams,
And
the
we make
manga
up
section.
Whams. Also, you're gonna go ahead and like, and you're gonna go ahead and subscribe, and you're gonna go ahead and comment Whams
50,000 times.
50,000 times. I need to see it. I got my notifications open. I like every single one of the fucking comments that comes in, and I'm not seeing 50,000 Whams. So like somebody's failing me here. Anyway,
You're all failing us.
the manga was Bug Ego.
I'm addicted to stress. That's the way that I get things done. If I'm not under pressure, then I sleep too long and I hang around like a bum. I think I'm going nowhere and that makes me nervous. Everybody's out to get me, but I feel alright. Everybody's out to get me, but I feel alright. Everybody's out to get me, but I feel alright. Everybody's thinking about me.
So that's Jim's ego, but
That's Jim's bug ego.
Jim's Bug Ego. So Bug Ego is a manga by one who, and whatever the artist's name
He
is.
made One Piece.
He made One Punch Man and Mob Psycho 100 are his most notable
Right,
works.
I'm sorry. Oda Nobunaga made One Piece.
Yeah, Oda Nobunaga made One Piece back in like the fucking 1600s or whatever.
1500s.
1500s.
I know that because I killed him in Assassin's Creed Shadows.
But
Technically, he killed
Bug
himself.
Ego was a fucking trip, right? That was a trip.
That so I'm trying to be better about being ahead on all this Wham stuff. So I read the first, 6 chapters of Bug Ego right after we did our stream last week, and I went, "This is way too fucking much for me right now. I don't know what I'm consuming."
Yeah.
It's incredible though. Like the art's really good. The story's fun, if a little nonsensical. The characters are great as well. I'm pretty happy with it overall.
Yeah. So let's do our rating at the beginning this time.
9.
You're thinking 9?
Mhm.
I'm also thinking 9. And B, what are your thoughts?
She only read
I only
chapters.
read the first 3 chapters, but I can easily see how this is a 9 or a 10 for anybody who wants this.
Yeah.
It's not
Who wants
necessarily
this very specific niche manga?
I mean, like,
Well-
it's as good as it could possibly be at what it's doing. I think it's not
Yeah.
necessarily my genre per se, which is like just deeply diving into abstraction when it comes to it's a comedy manga,
Yeah.
first of all, but it's like Junji Ito made a comedy manga.
Yeah. So, yeah, I pretty much did the same thing where I was like, all right, I'll be proactive on the manga this time. I need to be more proactive about it. And then I started reading it, and then I couldn't stop reading it. It was so fucking entertaining and funny.
That's funny. We had opposite reactions. I went, I need to stop reading
Yeah,
this.
I ended up staying up like 2 hours later than I was supposed to on a night where I needed to wake up early the next day. And I was
Like
I was just reading it and fucking so my girlfriend sleeps right next to me, and like she was asleep and I was trying not to burst out laughing. I was just sitting there going, this is really funny. Like
I don't know what it is. Both you and B have described this more as like a comedy thing. For me, it is very like horror.
it is kind of horrific.
This to me is
Existential horror comedy.
But it like the comedy of it does not really translate to me for whatever reason. I
Really? You didn't think
I
it
did
was that
not
funny?
find myself laughing or thinking,
So-
"Oh, this is hilarious." I went, "Fuck, this is terrifying."
So the manga introduces us to the main 2 characters.
Kakudo and
Hitsuya.
Hitsuya, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
And-
hold on, real quick. I'm curious. Does Junji Ito make you laugh at all, or do you think it's funny at all? From what little you've read, because I definitely
No
think
Longer Human isn't Junji Ito. He just
he drew a
it-
manga
it-
version.
That had some funny moments.
Okay, because like Junji Ito really plays with this, and generally Japanese horror does that. Like
What did
Horror-
Junji Ito make outside of that?
a lot of things.
But like something I might know.
You watched the anime version
Uzumaki.
of Uzumaki.
Yes, that did not make me laugh. That was
Okay.
pure horror most of
Well,
the
then
time.
see, I would say Uzumaki is a great example. Like Japanese horror often plays.
Oh,
with
the snail
idea-
people were pretty funny.
It plays with the idea that horror and comedy are 2 sides of the same. That like the ability to make you laugh or kind of be afraid are very closely related. And this manga, I think, like Junji Ito manga is like playing with that, but on the horror side. This is on the comedy side, but they're both right on the edge between comedy
Of
and horror.
glory.
So I could see not finding it funny if you just don't think that like the concept of suffering can be funny in certain ways. And it also would not be it would not be funny as nearly as funny without the artist being really, really good. Because like there are so many moments where
There are funny looking parts,
yeah,
but on the whole of it, it's just scary to me. Like the whole concept. And I'm not saying
It's
it's
kinda
bad. Obviously,
terrifying.
I give it a 9. I think it's great. It's terrifying to think about living in this weird world that is
like hanging on by a thread.
hanging on by a thread. And that thread is a notebook that 3 teenagers have and have to not
Yeah.
share the secrets of destroying the world.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Gravity Falls in
Or
the way
Death
that
Note.
there's like or Death Note.
I was gonna say it's like a
Like-
Death Note if instead of killing people, it fucked your whole world.
Right.
Like every rule in the book, you read it out, and then everything is fucked around
So
you.
so the concept here,
Gravity Falls is a lot closer in terms of what the book actually does.
yeah. What the concept is here is that essentially the real world has like bugs.
Hacks.
Like video game bugs in a way.
Oh, do they
Where
call
it's
it?
like
do
they
they
call
call-
it hacks
Okay,
in the
yeah.
manga, but
Because bugs are when it goes bad.
right. But like so like think about a speed run where it's like, oh, okay, so
Exploits.
so if you think about the any percent speed run for Ocarina of Time, there is an exploit in the first boss arena where if you collect these certain items, if you have like a jar with a bug in it, and you have like you've done like the certain things throughout the time, like throughout the run
Like,
up to that
do
point.
3 backflips, walk backwards.
Yeah, so that
a
is so
quarter
you're
degree
setting
angle.
yeah you're setting yourself up in an incredibly specific spot, and then you do this thing, and then you like die at the same time. Then you fucking bug out the game, so the game's like memory thinks that you should be respawning in the final level, and like that is kind of what the whole concept of this manga is that like you do these weird, incredibly specific things, and you'll like fuck with like the memory of the world or something, and something will happen.
Did you almost say RAM?
Yeah, well, because
Nice.
it is the like RAM. You're fucking with the RAM of a video game when you
Yeah.
do those things, and yeah. But so the way that this ends up getting introduced is that the main 2 characters are like
Kakudo is the main character.
Yeah,
but
Kakudo is like a little
Hitsujiya
shrimp.
is the real main character.
yeah
Because Kakudo knows what's going on. Hitsujiya is my favorite character.
yeah he's so likable.
Him or the girl that
You put me on for a second.
Kaku.
And
Yeah.
like his life hacks are like the kind of thing you would see a YouTube video on life hacks on, like real life hacks, things you can do.
What color is your Bugatti?
And so the manga starts with him teaching the kid who is like this gloomy, kind of, he's not really getting
Kakudo.
bullied so much as just
Ignoring the bullying.
he's a shadow of a kid, who's in the school. And he starts teaching this kid his life hacks. And so the kid goes, I know hacks too, but his hacks are like Shade was saying,
Yeah.
video game hacks for real life that distort
So-
reality in
So the first one he gets introduced to is
the
here's
vending
how to
machine.
reset time. And then
no, it was the vending machine.
oh shit.
So like Kakudo is just like, all right, well, let me introduce you to this, and he's like, oh,
Right.
look at this corner, and there's nothing in the corner, and then he's like, all right, now watch this, and he clicks every single button on the vending
And
machine.
the bird
It
shit
just doesn't work.
Yes, the bird
And then
shit.
bird shit shows up in that spot, and he's like, anytime you do that to the vending machine, bird shit shows up over there, and then Gia's just like, you're fucking with me, and then he like goes home. But then he comes back and he's like, all right, I gotta test this out. And he hits all the buttons on the vending machine and bird shit pops up and he's like, what the fuck? How does that work? And then they become like good friends immediately. And then they do like a bunch of just like tiny hacks, like just random little bullshit that was like really silly. Where it's like, oh, you stand in this spot and you do this thing, a bunch of cats appear.
A lot of them
um,
are really silly and stupid.
Yeah. But then the majority of the first chapter is about the first like dangerous hack, which was
Reset time.
you can reset time to like right before this exam happens, but it has to be during a solar eclipse, and you have to strip down naked and do this really specific dance exactly correctly in the middle of the high school like
Soccer field.
Yeah, soccer field, while like while the school is like going and shit like that. And so the main Kakudo had done this already,
and he passed the test.
Yeah, got a perfect test score because he came back in time with the answers for the test. And so Hitsujiya is just like, I need to do that too. So he goes and does it, but he fucks up the dance, and then he gets expelled from school
and becomes a homeless man.
Yeah, and his whole life goes by. So 44 years goes by, and Hitsujiya's life is just ruined. He's a hobo. He's in like misery, and then he runs into Kakudo, and Kakudo's just like, "Hey man, like all those years ago,
I remember you.
You did the dance wrong." And then Hitsujiya's just like, "But you burned the journal and didn't tell anyone. Like you didn't fucking vouch for me at all." And he was just like, "I couldn't because it was too dangerous."
The journal says not to tell anyone about it.
Yeah, but he was just like, all I really wanted was to be your friend, and he was like, at this point, Hitsujiya is like choking him out, and he's like, I'm about to fucking kill you. He's like, I just wanted to be your friend, and then Hitsujiya is just like, my life is ruined. We can't fix this. And then he goes like, well, we can fix it because there's
a solar eclipse
about to happen. We can redo it. And so Hitsujiya goes back to the schoolyard naked as like a fucking 50-year-old guy, and does the dance in the middle of the schoolyard and
gets
reverses
tackled,
time.
Thinks it's ruined, and then oops, it happened. It worked.
Wakes up. The Prestige. This is a perfect example of The Prestige. Is him waking up in the
like when you finish a video games campaign and it makes you start from the beginning.
No, like the end of a magic trick.
So
and this manga is
you're
all
talking about the movie.
That's just what it's called in Magic. The movie is named after what the magic principle is, which is the prestige. The moment of like, oh, aha, this is what you'll remember. Like in this case, it's that he wakes up in class after 44 years have passed, and it does work. And then the other Kakugo is just like, "Welcome back, asshole."
Yeah. Just, oh hey.
Every chapter in this is like 40-something pages, but it feels.
That's only the first 3.
It feels eternal.
A lot of them are really long.
They feel like your whole life passed by because so much happens. It is so dense.
Yeah, a lot of shit fucking happens. So. Yeah, so that was how the first one goes. And then I was expecting it to kind of be episodic whenever the second chapter starts and like they're kind of back to being normal. But then they explain that Hitsujiya like should have brought back a bunch of knowledge, but like he didn't. He's just a dumbass. So he just forgot everything.
He's just homeless for 44 years. Yeah. Like what was he going to learn?
Well, it was just that he could have brought back like anything. Like he could have brought back like a fucking just a little gadget or something. Yeah, or a lottery ticket. Anything, but he was too focused on just being homeless and miserable. And then like he comes back and he's like, I don't even really remember anything. I don't remember what the fuck happened. But clearly he does, because in the second chapter they're talking about lucid dreaming, and there's a hack. Yeah. There's a hack where you can lucid dream, and
Chance the Rapper.
You do this. No, I think
wait, who's the lucid dreaming one?
You're thinking of
Kid.
No, Juice WRLD.
Juice WRLD. There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry. There was a rapper.
Anyway, if you do this like specific ritual, which is actually kind of true in real life, if you do a specific ritual before you go to sleep, you can unlock lucid dreaming. But this is really
can just
specific.
Do it when God intends you to do it, like a normal person.
Yeah, and get terrified. So Kakudo is like literally having these dreams where he is Frodo and he's like riding on the back of the Neverending Story dragon,
and Hitsujiya is having the worst dreams possible.
Hitsujiya is having memories of him getting tackled by the police as a naked old man, and this goes on for an entire month where he's just like, I can't do it. I can't get a lucid dream.
Well, he's having lucid dreams.
Yeah.
They're terrible. They're bad lucid dreams.
That.
And so Kakudo goes, okay, you can come into my lucid dream.
Well, no, he just says, look, this is what my dreams are like. Just think about this exactly, and it'll work. And then he shows up in his dream, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, this is not how it's supposed to work. And then they get attacked by a fucking mysterious man who has a tentacle coming out of his mouth.
The dune worms.
Yeah, and he starts shooting lasers out of a tentacle in his mouth. And that guy starts turning the dream into like a bug nightmare and chasing after them. And he turns into a fucking horrifying creature. And then he starts fucking he fucking starts attacking him. And then Hitsujiya is just like, what do we do? And then the other guy's like, well, I made an escape route. And then he's like, all right, you need to go escape. I'll try talking to the guy. And so Kakudo escapes. And then Hitsujiya, it shows him getting fucking stabbed through the chest by monster thing. He's like,
But
I couldn't
Kakudo
talk to
goes
this
and
guy.
wakes him up in real life.
No, wait.
Right?
He gets stabbed in the fucking chest, and then Kakudo's like, "What do? I need to go wake him up." And so he starts running over to Hisaji's house, and then it shows Hisaji in the dream being eaten by vultures alive and having his entrails ripped out, and the guy is like fucking about to devour him. And Hisaji is just like, what the fuck? And they explained that you can feel all of the pain. They decided they mentioned this at the beginning of the dreams. They were like, oh, you can feel everything in the lucid dreams. So he just like fucking end of Evangelion where fucking Asuka gets ripped apart. He feels all of this
like
shit.
that.
he's getting eaten by vultures. And then Kakudo comes into the dream and he's like, look, I found this journal from when you were in middle school. This is your real creativity. And it's like a robot gorilla with Jesus crossed on his chest. And Hisaji is just like, I remember this. And then he turns into the robot gorilla with the cross on his chest. And then he fucking blasts the guy.
I need to emphasize this dream sequence arc is when it became apparent the artist of this manga can draw anything.
Yeah.
Literally anything.
So yeah, like one of the most comedic aspects of all of it is that like the manga looks like a normal manga for majority of it, and then they'll just every time there's a reaction shot, like the characters just become a real human being with like super detailed oil painting looks to them, even in just like one panel where it'll be like Hitsuji going really, really detailed.
So you've described the first 2 chapters of this manga. I don't
We
think
can't
you should
do this for the
you
rest.
can't do that
No.
for all 18.
I'm not going to.
What
but
is
that's
your
just,
favorite?
That's the first 2 fucking chapters.
What's your
you know?
favorite stuff that's happened past those?
The introduction of the girl. I don't remember, but she's like a
I think it's Yuki.
Yuki or Hockey or something like that. She's the top student in their school, and she just thinks hacks are cool. I'm gonna start being part of hacks, and then she immediately understands it better than either of them.
Well, so what her character was, right, is that she's been
been
pressured.
imagining blowing up everyone.
She's been getting pressured by her parents to be perfect, and so her whole life is having to be this perfect student, perfect everything. You know, very relatable to somebody who has like strict parents, and she's like tired of it, and she just keeps on imagining everyone around her blowing up. She just wants the whole world to fucking blow up. She hates everything. She hates life.
I
and
thought
she
that,
literally
I thought
has-
that this was a hack the whole time we were seeing it. I didn't
Oh,
realize
the
it wasn't
heads
actually
exploding.
happening. Kind of like when Sakamoto kills people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just throwing me off so much because like, wait, is this?
Is she really blowing them
Yeah,
up?
is this? Are we being introduced to a super hacker or something? Like, what is
Yeah.
happening with this girl? And in a way, yes, we are being introduced to a super hacker because she gets introduced and figures out how to shoot lightning out of her fingertips.
Right. But yeah, so she ends up she ends up just kind of walking by as Hitsuji and Kakudo are doing a hack, and she's like, what the fuck are these guys doing? And then she sees it and she's like, okay, that was just impossible. Whatever just happened, but now my life has some kind of meaning. This is really chaotic, and it wasn't anything crazy. I don't remember what the hack was, but
Yeah.
it was like something super simple. And she's like, this is ridiculous. And so
So she kidnaps a golem.
yeah, it had shown several times that she had like a pipe bomb in her fucking in her desk
She
that
did
was like
have a
timed,
pipe bomb in her desk.
and she was planning on just blowing herself up or something, or her whole house. I don't know what exactly the plan was. Maybe she was gonna blow someone else up.
And we're sure that's not a
But-
figurative pipe bomb.
I have no idea, but it may be. After seeing the hack, she deactivates it, and she has the first like good night of sleep that she's ever had. And then she joins the club that they had made.
The walking club.
Yeah, the walking club, which is a ploy for the hacks club.
The walking club is my favorite part of this manga.
Yeah, but she was, she.
Oh no, actually, my favorite part of this manga is the teacher that signed on for them to do the walking
stupid teacher
club.
with the different wigs.
I thought your favorite part was the can.
The Canner,
yeah.
Canner is my favorite
Canner's
character.
awesome.
That's different. But so Yuki or Hockey or whatever her name is figures out that
Probably Yuki, because hockey's not like a name.
okay,
Yuki
then
means snow.
Whatever. Yuki gets she's super smart, right? She's like the smartest person that ever was. She realizes that there's some kind of nefarious cult group going around trying to create a chrysalis form by doing a bunch of really fucking strange hacks in different places, kind of like Full Metal Alchemist, where they do the big circle. So it's kind of like that. She goes to one of the places that's going to happen, and she finds a golem, and she shoots fucking lightning at the golem and imprisons it.
She does like railgun, like
the way,
she fucking.
The way she does the lightning is by combining, I think, 8 different hacks together.
Yeah,
and she can just do that now. That's just a thing she can do. It's shown again later. But so she imprisons the golem. They do a hack to have Hitsujiya get some of the golem's memories, and Hitsujiya goes, wait, maybe these golems aren't so bad. But the golem is bad.
yeah.
Another thing. The Walking Club's room is a duplicate of a club room that does exist at their school, but they used a hack to duplicate it, but they're not allowed to go outside of it because it apparently ejects things into space. So the golem is trapped in the duplicate room, escapes through the door, and is just in the middle of space now.
But one of his balls came off.
And Hitsujiya uses it to make my favorite character.
Canner.
Oh, what happened?
Tell us what you think of the bugs with Ego. I only read the first 3 chapters. So I already pretty much said all of my opinions. I think it's fucking nuts. It is very cool. Shade compared it to Gintama at one point, and I think that is a very interesting comparison. Because Gintama's not always torqued, but it is like the more torqued Gintama episode. Like the one I always think of, like my go-to Gintama episode is the Smegma one, where like Gintoki like doesn't wash his hands after using the bathroom, and like the Smegma turns into Nazca. Like because in Nazca the world has been like overtaken by what's the word I'm looking for? Like mushroom fungi. Like fungi has overcome the world. And so it becomes this big Nazca parody where Smegma fungi has overtaken everything. And this is like that. It's that level of like, you start with like a dumb, silly, basic thing, and then it just grows rapidly into like the most insane thing you've ever seen.
It's also kind of like regular show.
Yes, regular show is a great fucking comparison, actually.
Yeah.
I wish I had thought of that earlier. Bird's like running around the house like, where's the fucking beer? I need to get shithead.
No, I was just looking for another.
Yeah, anyway, it's good. It's really silly. My favorite
Canner. So, Hitsujiya creates this boy named Canner. He's a can with trash limbs, and Canner, Kodoku? Whatever his name is.
I don't know.
The other 2 members of the Hacks Club go, you got to get rid of this thing right fucking now. That's a hack. That's gonna kill us. And he goes, okay. And so they employ a hack where you draw over your eyes with eyeliner that you have fake eyes on. You climb a tree. And you climb the tree enough that you enter a different universe. So he climbs into this alternate dimension, leaves Canner there, but then without telling anyone, he goes back and saves Canner, but also gets attacked by a bunch of terrible deities. And Canner unlocks Super Saiyan mode, where he becomes this big, terrifying kaiju Canner. Canner is the best character. Like he's so cool. He turns into a gun at one point. I don't know. I do not understand and cannot recall very much of what happens in this manga, but it is a lot of fun to read and look at because the art is just out of this world.
Essentially, before the girl gets introduced, Yuki, there's not really like a plot. It's just like silliness. It's like Kakudo is like deciding whether or not he should teach Hitsujiya more about the hacks. And he like can't decide whether it's better to teach him or to not teach him. Eventually, he's like, okay, yeah, I should teach him. But then once Yuki gets introduced, they start talking about the chrysalis thing, and so now the plot is like, what is the motive behind whatever this shadow organization is that's like trying to create this chrysalis?
We also get introduced to the sorceresses.
Yeah.
Who are cool ladies, I guess. I don't know.
They're really silly.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. They might or may not send a demon after our main characters.
Yeah.
The demon attacks the main characters. And then it cliffhangs, because this is only 19 chapters into being a thing.
Yeah. It's definitely not early enough. It's too early for like a major arc to have actually happened.
Major arc.
I was
So
very
it's like in
glad
the middle of it.
that we chose to do this before it hits 30 chapters because it is so dense and,
Yeah.
and long. I was like, oh yeah, this would have been a tough 30 to get.
Yeah. Well, what do you think would have made it a 10?
Being slightly more understandable.
Okay. I do
I-
think that it is the nature of the hacks to be super hard to understand.
Still,
Not just the hacks, but it is the fact that the manga just moves so quick.
yes.
Like it will literally be like there is one panel to explain a whole concept, and then you move on to something different by the next panel.
I love it.
It's
Well,
great.
So why didn't you give it a 10? What would make it a 10?
So I was thinking 10 until the whole plot thing started, where I was like,
I thought this was great until the plot came.
yeah. It's like once the plot started, I was like, okay, this is fine, but also I felt like it was starting to go into more serious, and I was like missing the the more of the comedy because like
I want it to stay unhinged.
Oh, when the plot
Yeah.
started, I went, thank God this is going somewhere.
I was like, okay, so like it's not as funny, and it's a little. They're taking it a little bit more serious now. They're going into like this direction, and I was like, I'm hoping that this explodes into more funny shit with this plot like still being continued. So like it can be a 10 soon. Like if by chapter 30, it's like the plot has turned into this absolute fucking big crazy bullshit that I think is hilarious, then I'll probably think it's a
You
10.
need prestige, just like
Yeah.
me with Nippon San Goku. Is that all for Bug Ego? You want to
Yeah.
move on to the music section?
We could go on.
I was thinking I'd have you read Love Bullet.
What is
Love
that?
Bullet is about these young girls who become cupids and they have to shoot people with love guns. And it was a manga that got canceled, but the fans loved it so much that they petitioned to bring it back, and it came back.
Wow, that never happens.
Yes. And so it was a big story when that happened. But
Hey, Lois. Because that show's been canceled so many times.
Oh yeah.